I'm so screwed. What am I gonna do? I have exactly 5 minutes to figure out how Charcoal Pony got its name, or else I get a bad grade. I have an idea. And it's a good one. I may not know how Charcoal Pony got its name, but I know some people who might. Let's give him a call.
Charcoal Pony actually started from our founder, Charles C. Cole, and his family would raise horses. So when he was starting an improv troupe, he'd bounce around between the idea of naming it the Stallions or the Mares or the Mavericks, and eventually he just landed on Ponies, and then it got named after him. Charles C. Cole. Ponies. Charcoal Pony.
Well, a few years back, we did a skit about making a sacrifice to a charcoal pony, so I think maybe this improv group has been a front for a cult the whole time.
In 2005, there were some kids in the High Point University Equestrian Club who were really good friends with some people in the art club who had a really strange obsession with charcoal painting those horses, so they decided to make a new club together that was focused around improv, since these were also all theater kids as well. So to combine both of their interests, they can combine charcoal painting and pony riding, and that's how you get Charcoal Pony.
You know, funnily enough, it's actually called Charcoal Pony after this thing, and they just keep misspelling and pronouncing it.
Oh, I know how Charcoal Pony got its name. And this is all hearsay, but I heard that a brain, a jock, a basket case, a criminal, and Molly Rainwald all got detention at a pony stable. And they're like, yo, bros, there's a lot of charcoal ponies around. Let's call ourselves a Charcoal Pony Club. Not anything else. Not like Breakfast Club.
Charcoal Pony? Yeah, that works.
I heard a rumor that a long time ago, when they were trying to come up with the name of this club, they were trying to think of something cool and refined. So they came up with Black Stallions, which is very cool and refined, but perhaps a little too cool and refined for an improv group. So they switched the words around, and then they got...
Charcoal Pony got its name, let me tell you, 14 years ago. It was 2011. Fun fact, the truth. What actually happened is the dog, one time having a nice time in the club, and a club member was disrespecting the club. The dog stood up on 2 legs, said in perfect English, told the man to get out. You don't believe me, but he runs everything.
I just got asked a pretty interesting question on how Pony got its name. And honestly, I'd say I don't really know, but I think it's probably Toy Story. I think that guy Bullseye really had a good effect on the naming of this group. So I would say Bullseye, Toy Story, somebody got inspired and somebody was smart. So I'd say from that.
William Shakespeare. He's the color of charcoal. He is pure air and fire, and the dull elements of earth and water never appear in him, but only in patient stillness while his rider mounts him. He is indeed a pony.
About 15, 16 years ago, the founder of Charcoal Pony was originally going to school not for what he wanted to do, but what his dad wanted him to do, which was become
some money from a scroll that was inside of a shark. He said it in very few words, and he said it with an accent and a lisp because he's a wizard.
And one day, walked into his dad's office and said, "Dad, I don't want to ride horses the rest of my life. I want to do college improv."
So it sounded like charcoal.
And Charcoal Pony comes from the bridge he burned with his father.
I think the Charcoal Pony got its name at a barbecue where they were all together doing some improv, you know, the typical stuff. And then boom, somebody smudges charcoal on a table and it looks like a pony. Charcoal Pony.
You know the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria? Well, there was a 4th ship called the Charcoal Pony that got lost at sea, found its way to North Carolina of all places, and then the early settler improvisers were like, oh my god, this is our name now.
So back in 1932, the creator of Charcoal Pony, John C. Improv, was actually a miner, and one day he came out of the mines covered in coal dust and snorting it out and stuff like a horse. And so his buddy said, "Hey there, get a look at that Charcoal Pony."
Back when the group was first starting, there was nowhere on campus that would let them perform. So they did the only thing they could, build a structure out of the only material they could get their hands on, charcoal. Inspired by that ancient Greek conflict, they created a gigantic horse to give them a space to perform and practice in. But they weren't very good, so it looked more like a pony.
Okay, so I know the truth about why Charcoal Pony is called Charcoal Pony, but they're gonna come and get me soon, so I gotta tell you really quick.
So, you want to know how Charcoal Pony got their name, huh? I knew you would ask. I knew. Well, I knew you would ask, and I'd say I had the answer necessarily. Shut up.